2015 Golf.
2015 Golf GTI.
With the sunroof.
With the sunroof. Yeah, I'm actually not
Do you have the thing that cranks the seat down, like on VWs? Like the little thing that you can like crank, ratchet down and make your seat
No,
go down?
this is a strange car. So, I have a power recliner.
I have power recline.
And then
manual scoot forward and back.
Manual scoot forward and back. And then I have no way of putting
seat
myself
up and down.
I think.
You don't have another lever there that you
There is another lever.
You have to like ratchet it. Like crank it down, down. There
we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, hold up.
I actually kind of like it because you have less motors, less stuff to fail, it's less weight, and you still can get a lot of configurability out of the seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed.
I have to say,
and the thing is, you want the angle to be motorized over anything else, because it sucks when you're in a car that doesn't have motorized seat back angle, because you have to get up off your fat ass to make the seat come forward. But in this, you don't. So it's the right amount of mechanization and motorization for my. So it's like has no sound coming from it whatsoever. Hey, we'll hunt you down if we find it, man.
So
that's what we're about at Tall Guys Sitting in Cars, okay? Somebody lost the phone.
We were going to help him
We're
out.
amenable.
Yep, his number, just so you guys know. So it's, I have to say, so you don't have one thing on all the Hyundais we've sat in today. It's hard to kind of see it, but, this kind of area right here, having such a big pillar on the right-hand side is really off-putting for the shoulder. But in this car, you don't have it. So you're just sort of kind of nice and boxy in the cockpit area. Even with the sunroof, I mean, honestly, even with the sunroof screen closed, I still am rocking an easy inch to couple inches of headroom.
I have more space going back than like any car that I've sat in at the dealership so far.
Yep.
Of course, there's no space behind me whatsoever.
Right, of course. No. And that's not what you expect out of this car. But I have to say,
I got mobility.
We're sort of comparing this car in some ways to the Elantra GT, right?
Exactly.
Because this is another sort of hatchback style car. And frankly, for a $30,000 car, especially, just the interior design is obviously going to be a bit of a higher quality because you're in a German car versus a Hyundai. But everything in it just feels great from a tall perspective. And granted, really what you're going to put back here is like groceries or very small women. But it's a really great car.
The seats, when I first sat down in them, I was like, ooh, this is too narrow.
Yep.
But I think if my wider self sat in them for 6 months, I might reconfigure the seat a little bit.
Yeah, I have to say, the narrowness of the seat is a little strange. I feel like they actually could have made the seats a little bit wider. But it is.
Well, it's for the sport. It's the bolsters for the sporting.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, I really wouldn't, from a daily driver perspective, I just don't know if this would be my choice personally as a car. But I think if you're looking for something that's a little peppier, and you're also a really tall person, and you're not constantly lugging around 2 or 3 people, I don't really know if you could do much better than this.
This one's great. The two-door would be even better, because as a tall person, you're not going to be using those rear doors as much. And you get a little bit more room for ingress and egress.
Right. That's absolutely true.
But I've got a lot of space in the footwell. The pedals are nicely spaced for a tall bloke. And all in all, it feels very, very comfortable, especially if you're okay with having a little bit of the room in the back compromised by having the seat so far back. Really, internet, it's good, and if you're tall, you can flex on it.
So I'm gonna pop in the back real quick.
Oh man, what a joke, but yeah, good idea. Yeah.
Okay, so just as a little background here, I'm 6'7", about 260 pounds. I put down my bike the other day, and my knee is in a great deal of pain, so I really need to scoot this seat up all the way. Okay, and let's try to maybe lift up that if possible. So, oh yeah, okay. So, I have to say, America,
With this is with the seat all the way up and all the way forward.
you know, this is actually, I'm amazed.
Now you got some room.
I'm personally pretty amazed. So, you know, one thing is that you have this nice little extra bump in the back, not quite as much as in the Santa Fe, but I don't really feel that uncomfortable. I feel like I got enough room. I mean, look, if I had two people sitting next to me, I'd probably tell them to get out. I mean, this is definitely a, you know, very small person, and maybe me with the seat all the way forward, and then I don't know who unlucky person would be in this passenger seat. But it's actually great.
Stop.
Yeah, let's take a look. So again, let's go a little bit more. Okay, we're good there.
So someone might be able to sit right here.
This is, yeah, I mean, again, would I want to drive to, you know, Fairbanks, Alaska with this? Like, probably not. But, you know, end of the day, like, if I needed to fit in the back of this car, I totally could. So that's a beautiful thing. And frankly, you know, you gotta love a car that has, you know, the back seats are roomy enough that you could basically sit some folks back there, put some bags back there, and then you have plenty of room. I'm pretty amazed here. I mean, you know, you put your feet all the way up in there, you kind of put yourself in launch mode a little bit, and really, I couldn't really ask for more kind of roomy than this. It's a little bit tight in the back area. Like, if you kind of want to bend your leg a little bit more, you're going to find yourself a little bit kind of narrower here. And certainly, the seats are narrow. I mean, it is a smaller car, but from the vantage point of looking at this versus an Elantra GT or you know, any other sort of smaller hatchback models, it's really pretty nice.
No, I don't think you look crammed in at all.
No, I feel like I have just enough room.
You're just barely fitting.
Just barely. I mean, it's